The phrase is I in count apple. In Chinese.
我在数苹果。
Right now.
我在数苹果。
To make sure we have enough for the pie. She interrupted me while.
我在数苹果。
In the kitchen. Don't bother me because.
我在数苹果。
For inventory. At the farmer's market.
我在数苹果。
Before buying them. He watched me as.
我在数苹果。
For the recipe. Currently.
我在数苹果。
To see if any are missing. While standing in the orchard.
我在数苹果。
On my fingers. The teacher asked what I was doing, and I said.
我在数苹果。
She called out that.
我在数苹果。
In the storage room. As part of my job.
我在数苹果。
Every morning. I explained to my friend that.
我在数苹果。
For the harvest. Right this moment.
我在数苹果。
To make sure nothing was stolen. The inspector noticed that.
我在数苹果。
Very carefully. I told her.
我在数苹果。
And would talk later. In the warehouse.
我在数苹果。
To verify the shipment. The phrase is I know this measure word number. In Chinese.
我认识这个数字。
The accountant said.
我认识这个数字。
When reviewing the quarterly report. Looking at the spreadsheet, I realized.
我认识这个数字。
From last year's data. She pointed to the chart and confirmed.
我认识这个数字。
Appeared consistently. The statistician remarked.
我认识这个数字。
Matches our previous findings. When shown the inventory count, he nodded and said.
我认识这个数字。
I immediately recognized it because.
我认识这个数字。
From my research. The auditor stated confidently that.
我认识这个数字。
In the financial records. After years of experience, she could say.
我认识这个数字。
Without hesitation. The manager explained.
我认识这个数字。
Had appeared in 3 reports. Upon inspection, the expert confirmed.
我认识这个数字。
Was correct. I told my colleague.
我认识这个数字。
From the previous analysis. The database showed that.
我认识这个数字。
Kept recurring in transactions. He assured me that.
我认识这个数字。
Was a familiar pattern. When comparing records, I noticed.
我认识这个数字。
Appeared everywhere. The researcher declared.
我认识这个数字。
Was significant to the study. The phrase is he of Chinese level very high. In Chinese.
他的汉语水平很高。
The phrase is my work very smoothly. In Chinese.
我的工作很顺利。
The phrase is please explain one bit. In Chinese.
请说明一下。
I didn't understand the instructions, so I asked him.
请说明一下。
The teacher paused and said.
请说明一下。
When students looked confused. She frowned at the contract and requested.
请说明一下。
Before signing. During the meeting, the manager asked.
请说明一下。
About the budget. My boss emailed me.
请说明一下。
Regarding the project delay. The customer insisted on.
请说明一下。
about the warranty terms. When I didn't grasp the concept, I politely said,
请说明一下，
The lawyer told the witness,
请说明一下，
about their testimony. I couldn't follow the directions, so I asked.
请说明一下，
The professor wrote,
请说明一下，
on my essay in red ink. He nodded and said,
请说明一下，
when I mentioned the numbers. She seemed uncertain about the recipe and asked.
请说明一下，
The technician requested.
请说明一下，
Regarding the software error. I was lost during the presentation, so I requested.
请说明一下，
The client didn't understand the proposal, so they asked.
请说明一下。
The phrase is that driver is my friend. In Chinese.
那个司机是我的朋友。
I got a ride across town because.
那个司机是我的朋友。
She introduced me to her colleague and said.
那个司机是我的朋友。
We stopped at the coffee shop where.
那个司机是我的朋友。
He explained the traffic delay by mentioning.
那个司机是我的朋友。
At the taxi stand, he pointed and said.
那个司机是我的朋友。
I felt comfortable in the car since.
那个司机是我的朋友。
They chatted happily because.
那个司机是我的朋友。
She got a discount on the fare knowing.
那个司机是我的朋友。
The ride was smooth and pleasant.
那个司机是我的朋友。
He waved from the bus window saying.
那个司机是我的朋友。
I trusted him completely since.
那个司机是我的朋友。
She asked him for directions assuming.
那个司机是我的朋友。
We laughed together during the ride because.
那个司机是我的朋友。
Nobody worried about getting lost since.
那个司机是我的朋友。
The journey was enjoyable and I remembered.
那个司机是我的朋友。
The phrase is I take book deliver arrive school. In Chinese.
我把书送到学校。
The phrase is I gift give you one volume book. In Chinese.
我送给你一本书。
For your birthday.
我送给你一本书。
About ancient history. Last week.
我送给你一本书。
That you mentioned wanting. As a thank you gift.
我送给你一本书。
From my collection. She was delighted when.
我送给你一本书。
At the ceremony. Next month.
我送给你一本书。
To help with your studies. He promised that.
我送给你一本书。
For graduation. During the visit.
我送给你一本书。
As a memento. Because you helped me.
我送给你一本书。
I found yesterday. At the library exchange.
我送给你一本书。
About gardening. Before leaving.
我送给你一本书。
To remember our friendship. For Christmas, my grandmother said.
我送给你一本书。
Tomorrow. He smiled and announced.
我送给你一本书。
Wrapped in blue paper. When I visited.
我送给你一本书。
From the bookstore downtown. As an apology.
我送给你一本书。
That I think you'll love. Next semester.
我送给你一本书。
To help with your project. The phrase is this not count expensive. In Chinese.
这不算贵。
The phrase is although weather very cold, but I very happy. In Chinese.
虽然天气很冷，但是我很开心。
My friend texted me saying.
虽然天气很冷，但是我很开心。
While skiing. She wrote in her diary that.
虽然天气很冷，但是我很开心。
During winter vacation. He told his mother.
虽然天气很冷，但是我很开心。
After building a snowman. The postcard read simply.
虽然天气很冷，但是我很开心。
From the mountain resort. During our call, she said.
虽然天气很冷，但是我很开心。
From the frozen lake. My brother announced.
虽然天气很冷，但是我很开心。
As he returned from sledding. The email concluded with.
虽然天气很冷，但是我很开心。
From our northern trip. She sang out loud.
虽然天气很冷，但是我很开心。
While ice skating with friends. The child exclaimed.
虽然天气很冷，但是我很开心。
Building snowmen in the yard. His message simply stated.
虽然天气很冷，但是我很开心。
From the snowy countryside. At the winter festival, she declared.
虽然天气很冷，但是我很开心。
Proudly. My grandpa wrote.
虽然天气很冷，但是我很开心。
In his letter from Canada. The traveler's blog entry read.
虽然天气很冷，但是我很开心。
From the Arctic expedition. She texted her family.
虽然天气很冷，但是我很开心。
While enjoying hot cocoa outside. The podcast host quoted a listener saying.
虽然天气很冷，但是我很开心。
The phrase is you whatever eat. In Chinese.
你随便吃。
My grandmother told me.
你随便吃。
When I visited her kitchen yesterday. At the buffet, the server said.
你随便吃。
With a welcoming smile. She gestured to the fridge and said.
你随便吃。
To her hungry guests. The host repeated.
你随便吃。
Whenever anyone hesitated to take more food. I heard my mom tell my brother.
你随便吃。
During dinner time. When I arrived late, they said.
你随便吃。
And left me alone in the kitchen. The restaurant owner kept saying.
你随便吃。
To make customers feel comfortable. My aunt welcomed me with.
你随便吃。
And lots of prepared dishes. He casually told his friend.
你随便吃。
While opening multiple containers. The family gathering began when Grandpa announced.
你随便吃。
To everyone. She whispered.
你随便吃。
So I wouldn't feel awkward about eating more. At the potluck, people kept hearing.
你随便吃。
From the hosts. My neighbor said.
你随便吃。
And pointed at her abundant fruit bowl. During the celebration, they encouraged guests by saying.
你随便吃。
The hotel receptionist's family said.
你随便吃。
When offering homemade snacks. The phrase is, you can anytime to me hit phone. In Chinese.
你可以随时给我打电话。
If you need help with the project.
你可以随时给我打电话。
Don't hesitate to reach out because
你可以随时给我打电话。
she reassured her son that
你可以随时给我打电话。
my boss told me
你可以随时给我打电话。
if I had any questions. He appreciated that his mentor said
你可以随时给我打电话。
The doctor reminded her patients that
你可以随时给我打电话。
I want you to know that
你可以随时给我打电话。
after giving her the job, the manager explained
你可以随时给我打电话。
During the emergency, the coordinator announced
你可以随时给我打电话。
My friend whispered
你可以随时给我打电话。
before we parted ways. The counselor assured the student
你可以随时给我打电话。
for support. He felt comfortable knowing
你可以随时给我打电话。
anytime. The tutor promised her students
你可以随时给我打电话。
with homework. When leaving for abroad, she told her family
你可以随时给我打电话。
The phrase is today rain, so I not go school. In Chinese,
今天下雨，所以我不去学校。
my mom texted me saying
今天下雨，所以我不去学校。
I told my teacher
今天下雨，所以我不去学校。
and stayed home. My brother complained that
今天下雨，所以我不去学校。
meant no soccer practice. She wrote in her journal
今天下雨，所以我不去学校。
with relief. The announcement stated
今天下雨，所以我不去学校。
for all students. My friend called saying
今天下雨，所以我不去学校。
and asked what to do. I realized
今天下雨，所以我不去学校。
when I woke up this morning. The principal decided
今天下雨，所以我不去学校。
and closed campus. My parents agreed that
今天下雨，所以我不去学校。
was the safest choice. I messaged my classmates
今天下雨，所以我不去学校。
during breakfast. The weather forecast predicted
今天下雨，所以我不去学校。
for everyone. My grandmother nodded saying
今天下雨，所以我不去学校。
was very wise. Looking outside, I confirmed
今天下雨，所以我不去学校。
without doubt. The email notification read
今天下雨，所以我不去学校。
clearly. My little sister asked why
今天下雨，所以我不去学校。
was happening today. The phrase is I have all of books in Chinese.
我有所有的书。
My librarian friend proudly announced.
我有所有的书。
She boasted that
我有所有的书。
in her personal collection. The bookstore owner claimed
我有所有的书。
ever published. He told me
我有所有的书。
about ancient civilizations. The scholar insisted
我有所有的书。
by that famous author. When asked about her library, she said
我有所有的书。
the collector's museum display showed
我有所有的书。
from the series My teacher mentioned.
我有所有的书。
Needed for the course. At the auction, he bragged.
我有所有的书。
In first edition. The professor revealed that.
我有所有的书。
On Renaissance history. She explained to visitors that.
我有所有的书。
In her study. The archivist documented that.
我有所有的书。
From that publisher. He whispered proudly.
我有所有的书。
In this language. The novelist declared.
我有所有的书。
In the fantasy series. During the interview, she confessed.
我有所有的书。
By that writer. The phrase is I have one, measure word, small dog, it very cute. In Chinese.
我有一只小狗，它很可爱。
My friend told me.
我有一只小狗，它很可爱。
When showing me photos. She said.
我有一只小狗，它很可爱。
With a proud smile on her face. The child explained.
我有一只小狗，它很可爱。
To his grandmother yesterday. In her diary, she wrote.
我有一只小狗，它很可爱。
Last week. He announced.
我有一只小狗，它很可爱。
At the family dinner table. The girl proudly declared.
我有一只小狗，它很可爱。
To everyone. When asked about pets, she replied.
我有一只小狗，它很可爱。
Happily. My neighbor mentioned.
我有一只小狗，它很可爱。
While we chatted. The student wrote in her essay.
我有一只小狗，它很可爱。
As an example. During the interview, she stated.
我有一只小狗，它很可爱。
Enthusiastically. He texted me saying.
我有一只小狗，它很可爱。
With several emojis. The letter began with.
我有一只小狗，它很可爱。
From her pen pal. She whispered to her friend.
我有一只小狗，它很可爱。
Excitedly. The posting on social media read.
我有一只小狗，它很可爱。
With photos. When introducing herself, she mentioned.
我有一只小狗，它很可爱。
Proudly. The phrase is they very cute. In Chinese.
它们很可爱。
The puppies in the shelter window are adorable.
它们很可爱。
Sarah pointed at the kittens and exclaimed.
它们很可爱。
We visited the farm yesterday, and.
它们很可爱。
The children laughed while watching the baby pandas because.
它们很可爱。
My grandmother said about the ducklings.
它们很可爱。
Everyone agreed that the rabbits hopping around were.
它们很可爱。
Looking at photos of the penguins, she whispered.
它们很可爱。
The zookeeper explained why visitors love the otters.
它们很可爱。
When we saw the lambs in spring.
它们很可爱。
The documentary showed baby elephants, and.
它们很可爱。
Parents brought their kids to see the chicks because.
它们很可爱。
My friend texted the photo of the squirrels saying.
它们很可爱。
The animal shelter's new ferrets impressed everyone.
它们很可爱。
At the aquarium, the sea turtles captured our hearts since.
它们很可爱。
She adopted the kittens immediately, claiming that.
它们很可爱。
The phrase is my wife very good. In Chinese,
我太太很好。
I'm grateful every day because
我太太很好。
my friends all agree that
我太太很好。
when people ask about my marriage, I say
我太太很好。
she helps everyone in the community, so
我太太很好。
I tell my parents regularly that
我太太很好。
the teacher complimented our family and said
我太太很好。
my son is proud that
我太太很好。
honestly, I can't complain since
我太太很好。
she volunteers constantly, which shows
我太太很好。
people often tell me how fortunate I am that
我太太很好。
I brag to my brother that
我太太很好。
after 20 years together, I still believe
我太太很好。
the phrase is today's sun very big. In Chinese,
今天太阳很大。
she complained that
今天太阳很大。
so she stayed indoors with the curtains closed. The weatherman announced
今天太阳很大。
before recommending sunscreen to all viewers. My grandmother said
今天太阳很大。
and refused to leave the house without an umbrella. We noticed
今天太阳很大。
when we arrived at the beach this morning. Because
今天太阳很大。
the children played in the shade instead of the open field. He observed
今天太阳很大。
and decided to postpone his outdoor workout. The tourists learned that
今天太阳很大。
the hard way after getting sunburned. She texted me saying
今天太阳很大。
so let's meet inside the cafe instead. The gardener confirmed
今天太阳很大。
would help his plants grow faster this season. Everyone agreed that
今天太阳很大。
made the afternoon unbearably hot and uncomfortable. The hiker noted in his journal that
今天太阳很大。
during the entire trek, my sister warned me that
今天太阳很大。
so I applied extra sunscreen before going out. The street vendor said
今天太阳很大。
was perfect for drying his freshly washed clothes. Children were told that
今天太阳很大。
so they wore hats during recess. The photographer realized
今天太阳很大。
created interesting shadows for her outdoor shoot. The phrase is his attitude very good. In Chinese,
他的态度很好。
the manager praised him because
他的态度很好。
we hired him immediately since
他的态度很好。
she noticed that
他的态度很好。
during the meeting. Everyone agreed
他的态度很好。
toward the new project. The teacher remarked
他的态度很好。
in class today. His promotion came because
他的态度很好。
I was impressed when I realized
他的态度很好。
despite the criticism,
他的态度很好。
remained unchanged. The client was satisfied because
他的态度很好。
we trusted him completely as
他的态度很好。
his colleagues noticed that
他的态度很好。
toward teamwork. The director acknowledged that
他的态度很好。
about the deadline. Even in difficulty,
他的态度很好。
inspired us all. They valued him mainly because
他的态度很好。
success came partly from the fact that
他的态度很好。
The phrase is we discuss one bit. In Chinese,
我们讨论一下。
before making a decision, I think.
我们讨论一下。
Sarah raised her hand and suggested.
我们讨论一下。
The manager paused the meeting to say.
我们讨论一下。
He seemed confused, so I proposed.
我们讨论一下。
When tensions rose, she calmly said.
我们讨论一下。
The team was stuck, so I asked.
我们讨论一下。
Instead of arguing, they decided.
我们讨论一下。
My colleague interrupted and said.
我们讨论一下。
To resolve the conflict, we should.
我们讨论一下。
The director suggested.
我们讨论一下。
Before voting on it. Nobody agreed until someone proposed.
我们讨论一下。
After the presentation, the client requested.
我们讨论一下。
I felt lost, so I asked.
我们讨论一下。
With the group. Rather than dismiss the idea, let's.
我们讨论一下。
The two companies decided.
我们讨论一下。
At the negotiation table. The phrase is I have one set clothes. In Chinese.
我有一套衣服。
My mother asked what I need, and I replied.
我有一套衣服。
For the party. At the clothing store, the salesman asked if I needed more, but
我有一套衣服。
At home. When packing for the trip, I realized.
我有一套衣服。
That fits perfectly. She wondered if I had enough clothes, so I told her.
我有一套衣服。
The interviewer asked about my wardrobe, and I mentioned.
我有一套衣服。
Already. Before the wedding, my friend asked if I was prepared, and
我有一套衣服。
For it. I checked my closet and remembered that.
我有一套衣服。
Somewhere in there. The tailor asked what I wanted altered, but fortunately.
我有一套衣服。
That works. My roommate borrowed clothes, but I explained.
我有一套衣服。
For myself only. When moving to the new apartment, I counted and found.
我有一套衣服。
From last year. The fashion consultant suggested more options, though honestly.
我有一套衣服。
Is sufficient. At the donation center, I said.
我有一套衣服。
I don't want to give away. My child asked why I wasn't shopping, so I said.
我有一套衣服。
Still. The stylist recommended a new look, but truthfully.
我有一套衣服。
That I like. During the laundry crisis, I realized.
我有一套衣服。
Still clean and ready. The phrase is this apple especially big. In Chinese.
这个苹果特别大。
At the farmer's market, the vendor pointed out that.
这个苹果特别大。
My daughter gasped when she saw.
这个苹果特别大。
In the fruit bowl. The grocer explained.
这个苹果特别大。
Cost more than the regular ones. I couldn't believe.
这个苹果特别大。
Came from our backyard tree. She bit into the fruit and remarked.
这个苹果特别大。
The recipe called for a large apple, so.
这个苹果特别大。
Was perfect. Looking at the produce, grandmother said.
这个苹果特别大。
Compared to others. He struggled to fit.
这个苹果特别大。
Into his lunch bag. The nutritionist noted that.
这个苹果特别大。
Provided more servings. I weighed it on the scale and confirmed.
这个苹果特别大。
For the pie contest.
这个苹果特别大。
Would be ideal. My friend joked that.
这个苹果特别大。
Could feed the whole family. The farmer proudly displayed.
这个苹果特别大。
At the county fair. She sliced carefully because.
这个苹果特别大。
Took longer to prepare. When the children saw.
这个苹果特别大。
They wanted to share it. The phrase is this person very have characteristic. In Chinese.
这个人很有特点。
When I first met him, I immediately thought.
这个人很有特点。
The hiring manager said.
这个人很有特点。
During the interview. Everyone at the party noticed.
这个人很有特点。
About the new colleague. My mother commented that.
这个人很有特点。
When she saw him. The teacher explained why.
这个人很有特点。
In front of the class. I told my friend.
这个人很有特点。
After meeting him yesterday. Sarah's grandmother said.
这个人很有特点。
About the visitor. The director remarked.
这个人很有特点。
While casting the film. He admitted that.
这个人很有特点。
Was an understatement. We all agreed.
这个人很有特点。
From the very beginning. The detective noted.
这个人很有特点。
In his investigation report. She whispered.
这个人很有特点。
To her sister at the gallery. My colleagues believe.
这个人很有特点。
And want to hire him. The interviewer wrote.
这个人很有特点。
In her evaluation notes. Nobody could deny that.
这个人很有特点。
Was obvious. The phrase is I head ache. In Chinese.
我头疼。
I told my boss I couldn't finish the report because.
我头疼。
After the long meeting, Sarah complained that.
我头疼。
My friend called to cancel dinner, saying.
我头疼。
She lay down in a dark room and whispered.
我头疼。
My mother suggested aspirin when I mentioned.
我头疼。
The student asked to leave class early because.
我头疼。
He sat quietly at his desk, muttering that.
我头疼。
The nurse noted in the chart that the patient said.
我头疼。
After 3 hours of studying, I realized.
我头疼。
My brother texted that he wouldn't come over since.
我头疼。
The pharmacist recommended rest when I explained.
我头疼。
She squinted at the bright screen and admitted.
我头疼。
The phrase is please help me lift this piece box. In Chinese.
请帮我提这个箱子。
The phrase is he raise finish one piece question. In Chinese.
他提出了一个问题。
During the meeting.
他提出了一个问题。
That nobody had considered before. The teacher nodded when.
他提出了一个问题。
About the homework assignment. Wo men dao hen jing your dang.
他提出了一个问题。
That challenged our assumptions.
他提出了一个问题。
And everyone went silent trying to answer it. At the conference.
他提出了一个问题。
That sparked a heated debate. The student raised his hand, and
他提出了一个问题。
about the exam format.
他提出了一个问题。
So thoughtful that the director asked him to repeat it. Nobody expected.
他提出了一个问题。
That would change the entire project direction. During the interview.
他提出了一个问题。
Showing his deep knowledge of the industry.
他提出了一个问题。
Which made everyone reconsider the proposed solution. The scientist.
他提出了一个问题。
That had been bothering researchers for decades.
他提出了一个问题。
And the presenter admitted they needed more time to answer. At the family dinner.
他提出了一个问题。
About planning next year's vacation.
他提出了一个问题。
That revealed a gap in our understanding of the topic. The colleague appreciated when.
他提出了一个问题。
Respectfully during the presentation. The phrase is he mentioned already that thing. In Chinese.
他提到了那个事。
During the meeting.
他提到了那个事。
But nobody seemed interested. When I asked about it.
他提到了那个事。
Without providing any details. Last week.
他提到了那个事。
In front of the entire office. She was upset because.
他提到了那个事。
To her parents. In his email.
他提到了那个事。
Very briefly. When we talked yesterday.
他提到了那个事。
For the first time. He brought up the problem and then.
他提到了那个事。
Casually. During dinner.
他提到了那个事。
That had been bothering him. The boss asked why.
他提到了那个事。
In the presentation. I didn't expect.
他提到了那个事。
At the conference. He kept quiet about most topics, but.
他提到了那个事。
Directly. When we discussed the project.
他提到了那个事。
Several times. After the incident.
他提到了那个事。
To everyone around. Nobody else wanted to hear it, but.
他提到了那个事。
Anyway. She realized that.
他提到了那个事。
Only to avoid the real issue. The phrase is I want to improve my Chinese. In Chinese.
我想提高我的汉语。
My teacher asked why I enrolled in the advanced class, and I said.
我想提高我的汉语。
Since.
我想提高我的汉语。
I've been watching Chinese movies every evening. He told me that.
我想提高我的汉语。
Is a great goal to pursue seriously. At the language center, I explained.
我想提高我的汉语。
To the counselor. Because.
我想提高我的汉语。
I decided to study abroad next semester. My parents were happy when I told them.
我想提高我的汉语。
The tutor nodded and said.
我想提高我的汉语。
Is absolutely achievable. I wrote in my journal that.
我想提高我的汉语。
By taking conversation classes. My friend asked what my New Year's resolution was, so I said.
我想提高我的汉语。
The application required an essay explaining why.
我想提高我的汉语。
In the interview, I mentioned that.
我想提高我的汉语。
Through immersion. She encouraged me by saying that.
我想提高我的汉语。
Takes dedication and practice. During the language exchange program, everyone stated their goal.
我想提高我的汉语。
I posted on social media that.
我想提高我的汉语。
This year. My roommate understood my motivation when I explained.
我想提高我的汉语。
The phrase is this question very hard. In Chinese.
这个题很难。
The student sighed and muttered.
这个题很难。
While staring at the exam paper. My teacher explained.
这个题很难。
So she gave us extra time to solve it. He complained to his classmate that.
这个题很难。
And asked for help. We all agreed that.
这个题很难。
During our group study session yesterday. She realized.
这个题很难。
Only after attempting it for 30 minutes. The math competition proved challenging when.
这个题很难。
Appeared in the final section. Nobody could answer because everyone thought.
这个题很难。
On the quiz. My tutor acknowledged.
这个题很难。
And broke it down into smaller steps. The student asked.
这个题很难。
So could we skip it and move on? After failing the test, he blamed the fact that.
这个题很难。
For his low score. We discussed why.
这个题很难。
Compared to the previous problems in the textbook. The teacher assured us that.
这个题很难。
But practice would help us master it. Looking at the homework assignment, I groaned because.
这个题很难。
Was on there. She raised her hand and said.
这个题很难。
During the calculus lecture. Everyone felt frustrated when.
这个题很难。
Was included on the standardized test. The phrase is I like physical education class. In Chinese.
我喜欢体育课。
The phrase is stadium very big. In Chinese.
体育场很大。
The tour guide explained that.
体育场很大。
When we arrived, my son gasped and said.
体育场很大。
The architect proudly mentioned.
体育场很大。
In her presentation. I couldn't believe.
体育场很大。
Until I walked inside myself. My grandmother remarked that.
体育场很大。
Compared to the old one. The newspaper headline read.
体育场很大。
And could hold 50,000 people. He told his friends.
体育场很大。
So they decided to explore it. During the opening ceremony, everyone agreed.
体育场很大。
The coach said.
体育场很大。
Which made training easier for the team. Looking at the blueprint, she confirmed.
体育场很大。
As planned. The visitor from abroad was shocked to see.
体育场很大。
Our teacher pointed out.
体育场很大。
When discussing the city's infrastructure. The construction company finally completed the project, and.
体育场很大。
When I asked about capacity, my cousin replied.
体育场很大。
The broadcast commentator noted.
体育场很大。
Before the match began. The phrase is gym very big. In Chinese,
体育馆很大，
we got lost inside because
体育馆很大，
the coach said,
体育馆很大，
so we need more equipment. Students were amazed that
体育馆很大，
she mentioned
体育馆很大，
when describing the new school. They complained that
体育馆很大，
makes it hard to find bathrooms. The principal announced
体育馆很大，
during the assembly. He was impressed, noting
体育馆很大，
everyone agrees
体育馆很大，
can accommodate thousands. The tour guide explained
体育馆很大，
in detail. My friend said,
体育馆很大，
compared to our old one. We discovered
体育馆很大，
when we arrived yesterday. The architect was proud because
体育馆很大，
athletes prefer this school since
体育馆很大，
our parents were shocked that
体育馆很大，
the maintenance staff confirmed
体育馆很大，
requires extra cleaning. The phrase is sky top have small bird. In Chinese,
天上有小鸟，
the child pointed up and exclaimed.
天上有小鸟，
From the window, she observed.
天上有小鸟，
Flying past. During our hike, someone said.
天上有小鸟，
Circling overhead. The teacher explained to students that
天上有小鸟，
singing beautifully. He whispered to his daughter.
天上有小鸟，
Do you see it? Looking at the painting, the artist painted
天上有小鸟，
gracefully. The poet wrote in her journal that
天上有小鸟，
inspired her. At dawn, the old man noticed.
天上有小鸟，
Beginning their journey. She told her friend that
天上有小鸟，
near her apartment every morning. The weather report mentioned.
天上有小鸟，
Despite the cloudy afternoon. In his travel diary, he noted.
天上有小鸟，
Over the ancient temple. The kindergarten song went.
天上有小鸟，
Singing their sweet songs. Through the telescope, astronomers saw.
天上有小鸟，
Silhouetted against the sunset. The grandmother told the baby that.
天上有小鸟，
Watching over us. On the rooftop, they discovered that.
天上有小鸟，
Built a nest nearby. The phrase is this measure word, fish very big. In Chinese,
这条鱼很大，
the fisherman proudly showed us.
这条鱼很大，
My grandfather caught.
这条鱼很大，
In the river yesterday. She exclaimed in surprise that.
这条鱼很大，
We could barely fit.
这条鱼很大，
Into the cooler. The chef examined.
这条鱼很大，
Before preparing dinner. Teshuo.
这条鱼很大，
When he pulled it from the water. Nobody expected.
这条鱼很大，
To be caught today. The market vendor insisted that.
这条鱼很大，
Children gathered around because.
这条鱼很大，
He bragged that.
这条鱼很大，
Was his personal record. We bought.
这条鱼很大，
For the family feast. The photographer wanted to capture.
这条鱼很大。
Everyone agreed that.
这条鱼很大。
Deserved first prize. She couldn't believe how.
这条鱼很大。
Turned out to be. The restaurant owner was thrilled because.
这条鱼很大。
The phrase is here of conditions very good. In Chinese.
这里的条件很好。
My parents decided to move here because.
这里的条件很好。
The students were happy to learn that.
这里的条件很好。
She recommended the resort to her friends, saying.
这里的条件很好。
After visiting, he confirmed that.
这里的条件很好。
The company expanded operations here since.
这里的条件很好。
Tourists kept returning because they felt.
这里的条件很好。
We were relieved to discover.
这里的条件很好。
The director announced.
这里的条件很好。
For the new facility. Everyone agreed that.
这里的条件很好。
Compared to other places. She wrote in her letter that.
这里的条件很好。
The hospital staff appreciated that.
这里的条件很好。
Investors were convinced to fund the project because.
这里的条件很好。
The coach selected this training facility because.
这里的条件很好。
After the inspection, officials confirmed.
这里的条件很好。
Employees requested transfers here once they learned.
这里的条件很好。
The phrase is he careful listen lecture. In Chinese.
他仔细地听讲。
The phrase is I hear speak he is one good teacher. In Chinese.
我听说他是个好老师。
My classmates told me that.
我听说他是个好老师。
So I enrolled in his course. According to the students.
我听说他是个好老师。
And very patient with beginners. Everyone keeps saying.
我听说他是个好老师。
Who really cares about his students? Last week I heard.
我听说他是个好老师。
From multiple reliable sources. The parents were satisfied because.
我听说他是个好老师。
In the entire district. She mentioned that.
我听说他是个好老师。
And decides to join his class. From what I understand.
我听说他是个好老师。
With an excellent teaching method. My friend insisted that.
我听说他是个好老师。
Who always explains things clearly. The school administration believes.
我听说他是个好老师。
Deserving of recognition. I was told that.
我听说他是个好老师。
Who inspires his students daily. Based on what people say.
我听说他是个好老师。
Making a real difference. The student feedback confirms.
我听说他是个好老师。
With high ratings. I recently learned that.
我听说他是个好老师。
According to parent reviews. Word around campus is that.
我听说他是个好老师。
Very dedicated to education. Colleagues reported to me that.
我听说他是个好老师。
Deserving of professional awards. The phrase is please at here stop. In Chinese.
请在这里停。
The taxi driver heard the passenger say.
请在这里停。
At the corner. She pointed ahead and told the bus driver.
请在这里停。
He instructed his friend.
请在这里停。
Before the intersection, the tour guide announced.
请在这里停。
So everyone could take photos. I asked the delivery person.
请在这里停。
At my front gate. The construction foreman yelled.
请在这里停。
To halt the machinery. She whispered.
请在这里停。
When we reached the viewpoint, the conductor signaled.
请在这里停。
And the train began braking. He politely told the driver.
请在这里停。
Near the restaurant entrance. The guide gestured and said.
请在这里停。
At the historic monument. She urgently called out.
请在这里停。
Before the traffic light changed. The parking attendant directed him.
请在这里停。
In the marked space. He raised his hand and commanded.
请在这里停。
Immediately. The elderly woman asked the car owner.
请在这里停。
By the pharmacy. She texted the driver.
请在这里停。
At the designated pickup location. The phrase is here not can park car. In Chinese.
这里不可以停车。
The officer pointed at the sign and said.
这里不可以停车。
My father ignored the warning that.
这里不可以停车。
She quickly moved her car after realizing.
这里不可以停车。
The parking attendant reminded us that.
这里不可以停车。
We had to circle the block because.
这里不可以停车。
He received a ticket for parking where.
这里不可以停车。
The sign clearly stated.
这里不可以停车。
In red letters. I apologized when I learned that.
这里不可以停车。
They towed his car since.
这里不可以停车。
The security guard explained why.
这里不可以停车。
We found another spot after seeing.
这里不可以停车。
She muttered in frustration that.
这里不可以停车。
The posted notice warned everyone that.
这里不可以停车。
He didn't believe me until I showed him.
这里不可以停车。
The meter maid confirmed that.
这里不可以停车。
On this street. The phrase is parking lot very big. In Chinese.
停车场很大。
The mall manager explained that.
停车场很大。
So we wouldn't have trouble parking. I was impressed when I arrived because.
停车场很大。
With plenty of available spaces. My friend said.
停车场很大。
Which made parking much easier than expected. We didn't worry about finding a spot since.
停车场很大。
The new shopping center advertises that.
停车场很大。
For customer convenience. He mentioned that.
停车场很大。
Before we drove there yesterday. Because.
停车场很大。
We parked far from the entrance without concern. The realtor pointed out that.
停车场很大。
As a major selling point. She reassured us that.
停车场很大。
So everyone could park comfortably. The sign indicated.
停车场很大。
So we felt confident about parking. My coworker noted that.
停车场很大。
During rush hour last week. Everyone agreed that.
停车场很大。
Made visiting the complex very convenient. The brochure claimed.
停车场很大。
with multiple levels available. I remember thinking,
停车场很大。
when I first saw the facility. They designed the building so that,
停车场很大。
for future growth. The phrase is he quite good. In Chinese,
他挺好的。
when I asked about my coworker, Sarah said,
他挺好的。
my mom told me,
他挺好的。
when I worried about my brother's job. The teacher explained that,
他挺好的。
despite his earlier mistakes. I asked if he was upset, and she replied,
他挺好的。
my friend reassured me by saying,
他挺好的。
about the new student. When I questioned his behavior, Dad said,
他挺好的。
the coach confirmed,
他挺好的。
after reviewing his performance. I was nervous about introducing him, but everyone agreed.
他挺好的。
She texted me,
他挺好的。
when I asked how her boyfriend was doing. The principal assured parents that,
他挺好的。
regarding the substitute teacher. My grandmother smiled and said,
他挺好的。
about my cousin. When doubts arose, the manager insisted.
他挺好的。
I worried unnecessarily because, as it turned out,
他挺好的。
the neighbor mentioned,
他挺好的。
when discussing the new tenant. After the interview, the recruiter told me,
他挺好的。
the phrase is his Chinese pretty good. In Chinese,
他的汉语挺好。
my colleagues surprised everyone when,
他的汉语挺好。
the phrase is phone connect through already. In Chinese,
电话接通了。
after waiting 5 minutes,
电话接通了。
and I heard her voice. He kept trying to call until finally,
电话接通了。
this morning, the receptionist said,
电话接通了。
so I can speak with the manager now. When,
电话接通了。
the line was surprisingly clear and loud. She was relieved when,
电话接通了。
because she had urgent news. The technician confirmed that,
电话接通了。
and the system works perfectly. I waited nervously until,
电话接通了。
with the hospital. Once,
电话接通了。
we discussed the contract details for an hour. He didn't expect,
电话接通了。
so quickly during the busy afternoon. The call quality improved dramatically once,
电话接通了。
through the new line. She announced happily that,
电话接通了。
with her family overseas. When,
电话接通了。
the customer service representative greeted me professionally. The IT team verified that,
电话接通了。
after the network upgrade. Finally,
电话接通了。
and we could begin the important business meeting. He sighed with relief when,
电话接通了。
after 3 failed attempts. The phrase is we pass exam already. In Chinese,
我们通过考试了。
the phrase is I see finish notice. In Chinese,
我看到了通知。
I was confused until,
我看到了通知。
on the bulletin board, my mom called to say,
我看到了通知。
from the school. When I finally,
我看到了通知。
I understood the meeting was cancelled. He rushed to tell everyone that.
我看到了通知。
About the deadline. After.
我看到了通知。
She immediately contacted the office. We were relieved once.
我看到了通知。
Regarding the schedule change. The announcement made sense after.
我看到了通知。
This morning. I called my coworker and said.
我看到了通知。
In the email. As soon as.
我看到了通知。
I realized I was late. They apologized because.
我看到了通知。
Wasn't clearly posted. Everyone finally understood once.
我看到了通知。
On the website. I couldn't attend because.
我看到了通知。
Too late yesterday. When.
我看到了通知。
I knew the event was postponed. She was upset that.
我看到了通知。
Was only in English. Now that.
我看到了通知。
We can proceed with the plan. The phrase is he like one side listen music, same time also read book. In Chinese.
他喜欢一边听音乐，同时也看书。
My brother's ideal afternoon is.
他喜欢一边听音乐，同时也看书。
His mother asked why.
他喜欢一边听音乐，同时也看书。
Every single day. The librarian noticed that.
他喜欢一边听音乐，同时也看书。
In the quiet corner. I didn't understand how.
他喜欢一边听音乐，同时也看书。
At the same time. Teachers were surprised when.
他喜欢一边听音乐，同时也看书。
During study hall. His friends laughed because.
他喜欢一边听音乐，同时也看书。
Instead of playing sports. Everyone could see that.
他喜欢一边听音乐，同时也看书。
With complete concentration. The cafe owner smiled knowing.
他喜欢一边听音乐，同时也看书。
Every afternoon there. His parents were proud that.
他喜欢一边听音乐，同时也看书。
So productively. I finally realized why.
他喜欢一边听音乐，同时也看书。
Helped him relax better. The headphones were on because.
他喜欢一边听音乐，同时也看书。
Without distractions. Nobody questioned the habit since.
他喜欢一边听音乐，同时也看书。
Was working wonderfully. His roommate discovered that.
他喜欢一边听音乐，同时也看书。
Improved his focus significantly. We realized.
他喜欢一边听音乐，同时也看书。
Was his secret to success. The truth is simple.
他喜欢一边听音乐，同时也看书。
Makes him happiest. The phrase is he is my colleague. In Chinese.
他是我的同事。
I introduced my manager to Tom because.
他是我的同事。
When people ask about John, I simply say.
他是我的同事。
At the conference, I explained that.
他是我的同事。
My wife asked who that man was, and I replied.
他是我的同事。
During lunch, I mentioned.
他是我的同事。
From accounting. The new intern didn't know.
他是我的同事。
Until I introduced them. I couldn't attend because.
他是我的同事。
Needed help with a project. When she asked for a recommendation, I said,
他是我的同事。
not just a friend, but actually,
他是我的同事。
working in my department. The report was prepared by someone I know well.
他是我的同事。
I carpooled with him since.
他是我的同事。
In the sales team. Explaining the collaboration, I clarified that.
他是我的同事。
At the company dinner, I sat next to the guy.
他是我的同事。
She wondered why I defended him so much.
他是我的同事。
When hiring, the manager asked if I knew the candidate.
他是我的同事。
The phrase is we have same book. In Chinese.
我们有同样的书。
I realized.
我们有同样的书。
When I saw her bookshelf yesterday. She exclaimed happily that.
我们有同样的书。
At the library. We discovered.
我们有同样的书。
During our literature class discussion. My friend mentioned.
我们有同样的书。
So we decided to compare notes. The teacher pointed out that.
我们有同样的书。
Assigned for homework. At the bookstore, she noticed.
我们有同样的书。
On the display table. We laughed when we found out.
我们有同样的书。
At home. His mother was surprised to learn.
我们有同样的书。
For the project. During our book club meeting, someone mentioned.
我们有同样的书。
I texted him saying.
我们有同样的书。
So let's discuss it together. The librarian confirmed that.
我们有同样的书。
In our school collection. She was delighted when I told her.
我们有同样的书。
At home. We both realized.
我们有同样的书。
When comparing our reading lists. My cousin said.
我们有同样的书。
So we could study together effectively. After checking their catalogue, I confirmed.
我们有同样的书。
At different locations. The phrases over there have one head cow. In Chinese.
那里有一头牛。
The farmer pointed and said.
那里有一头牛。
In the meadow. Looking across the field, she noticed.
那里有一头牛。
Grazing peacefully. He told us.
那里有一头牛。
Near the old barn entrance. The tour guide explained that.
那里有一头牛。
Belonging to the ranch. She whispered.
那里有一头牛。
When we arrived at the pasture. The child excitedly shouted.
那里有一头牛。
By the fence. According to the locals.
那里有一头牛。
That has lived there for years. From the hilltop, we could see.
那里有一头牛。
In the distance. The map indicated.
那里有一头牛。
Near the stream. My grandfather mentioned.
那里有一头牛。
On his property. The documentary showed.
那里有一头牛。
In that remote valley. She pointed out that.
那里有一头牛。
Standing alone. The villagers confirmed.
那里有一头牛。
Everyone knows about. He discovered.
那里有一头牛。
When exploring the countryside. The sign warned drivers that.
那里有一头牛。
Might cross the road. The phrase is book at bag inside. In Chinese.
书在包里头。
The phrase is her hair very long. In Chinese,
她的头发很长。
when I first met her,
她的头发很长。
and reached down to her waist. She decided to cut her hair because
她的头发很长。
made it difficult to manage. Everyone noticed that
她的头发很长。
as she walked into the room. In the old photograph,
她的头发很长。
and flowed beautifully in the wind. Her mother commented that
她的头发很长。
and needed regular trimming. She braided her hair daily since
她的头发很长。
tended to get tangled. The stylist suggested layers because
她的头发很长。
and quite thick. By the time she graduated,
她的头发很长。
had become her signature look. She wore her hair up most days since
她的头发很长。
attracted too much attention. In the painting, the artist captured how
她的头发很长。
and elegant children would stare at her because
她的头发很长。
like a princess. She finally decided to donate it because
她的头发很长。
and healthy. Her boyfriend loved that
她的头发很长。
and always complimented it. The hairdresser spent hours washing and conditioning since
她的头发很长。
so much. People assumed she was a model because
她的头发很长。
and absolutely stunning. The phrase is this measure word, picture very good looking. In Chinese,
这张图片很好看。
my friend showed me her vacation photos and said,
这张图片很好看。
the art teacher pointed at the student's work and commented,
这张图片很好看。
I zoomed in on my phone because
这张图片很好看。
she framed the photograph for her bedroom since
这张图片很好看。
the photographer was proud when the client agreed.
这张图片很好看。
Everyone in the gallery stopped to admire it.
这张图片很好看。
He saved the image to his computer because
这张图片很好看。
the magazine editor selected it for the cover.
这张图片很好看。
My grandmother said,
这张图片很好看。
and wanted a copy. The tourist snapped the landscape and exclaimed,
这张图片很好看。
She posted it online with the caption,
这张图片很好看。
the design team agreed that,
这张图片很好看。
for the advertisement. I printed it out because,
这张图片很好看。
on my screen. The child drew a picture, and the parent said,
这张图片很好看。
he shared the artwork with colleagues, noting,
这张图片很好看。
the phrase is please push door. In Chinese,
请推门。
the security guard told visitors
请推门。
to enter the building. She whispered,
请推门。
when her hands were full of groceries. The sign read,
请推门。
instead of pull, confusing many customers. He gestured and said,
请推门。
as I approached the glass entrance. The receptionist instructed me,
请推门。
it's unlocked and open. Children learned the rule,
请推门。
not pull when entering. I heard,
请推门。
shouted from inside the locked office. The broken sign that said,
请推门
caused constant confusion daily. She repeated,
请推门
louder when I didn't understand initially. The museum attendant politely said,
请推门
to every arriving visitor. His note simply stated,
请推门
the door is stuck. The teacher demonstrated,
请推门
during the fire drill practice. An employee called out,
请推门
as I struggled pulling. The automatic door sensor malfunctioned, requiring staff to say,
请推门
he mouthed,
请推门
silently through the thick glass door. The phrase is my legs very long. In Chinese,
我的腿很长
she noticed that,
我的腿很长
when I stood up from the chair. At the clothing store, the clerk said,
我的腿很长
so I needed tall sizes. My basketball coach told me,
我的腿很长
which gives me an advantage. I complained that,
我的腿很长
so airplane seats are always uncomfortable. The tailor measured and confirmed that,
我的腿很长
before hemming my pants. Dancing felt natural because,
我的腿很长
gave me better reach and balance. My mother joked that,
我的腿很长
must come from her side of the family. The photographer positioned me at the back because,
我的腿很长
I realized,
我的腿很长
when I couldn't fit under the low table. My friend said,
我的腿很长
makes me look taller than I really am. At the doctor's visit, they noted that,
我的腿很长
in my medical records. The fashion designer said,
我的腿很长
so she suggested modeling opportunities. Running track became easier once I understood that,
我的腿很长
helped my stride. Everyone assumed,
我的腿很长
when they saw me walk across the room. I bought jeans online and they fit perfectly because,
我的腿很长
the phrase is he at out-of-town work. In Chinese,
他在外面工作
his wife mentioned that,
他在外面工作
so he couldn't attend the family dinner. We didn't see him last week because,
他在外面工作
on a construction project. She said,
他在外面工作
and won't be back until next month. The teacher explained that,
他在外面工作
so his son might miss some classes. I heard,
他在外面工作
for a company in another city now. Since,
他在外面工作
his family decided to move closer to his job. They couldn't celebrate together because,
他在外面工作
during the holiday. My neighbor told me,
他在外面工作
and only visits on weekends. The reason he's so busy is that,
他在外面工作
and has a long commute. She worried while,
他在外面工作
in a remote area with poor phone service. His kids miss him even though,
他在外面工作
to provide for the family. We rescheduled the meeting because,
他在外面工作
until the end of the quarter. Despite,
他在外面工作
he always calls home every evening. The company transferred him, and now,
他在外面工作
across the country. His roommate explained that,
他在外面工作
so the apartment is empty most days. The phrase is we order takeout. Suggestion particle. In Chinese.
我们点外卖吧。
I'm exhausted from work, so I suggested.
我们点外卖吧。
Since nobody wanted to cook, Sarah said.
我们点外卖吧。
After the meeting ran late, the team agreed.
我们点外卖吧。
The kids were hungry, so Mom decided.
我们点外卖吧。
When the electricity went out, Dad proposed.
我们点外卖吧。
Instead of dining out expensively, my friend recommended.
我们点外卖吧。
The recipe looked too complicated, so I said.
我们点外卖吧。
With guests arriving soon, my wife suggested.
我们点外卖吧。
Because the kitchen was being renovated, we chose.
我们点外卖吧。
When everyone was tired and hungry, I offered.
我们点外卖吧。
Rather than cooking all evening, Tom proposed.
我们点外卖吧。
Since the supermarket was closed, his roommate suggested.
我们点外卖吧。
After a long day, everyone nodded when she said.
我们点外卖吧。
To save time before the movie, he decided.
我们点外卖吧。
When nobody had energy to cook, Lisa whispered.
我们点外卖吧。
The phrase is I eat finish le. In Chinese.
我吃完了。
The phrase is I finish already work. In Chinese.
我完成了工作。
I told my boss.
我完成了工作。
And asked to leave early. She was relieved when I said.
我完成了工作。
Before the deadline. After months of effort.
我完成了工作。
And felt proud. My colleague congratulated me when.
我完成了工作。
Successfully. I announced to the team.
我完成了工作。
And celebrated together. The project manager confirmed.
我完成了工作。
Ahead of schedule. I emailed the client saying.
我完成了工作。
And awaited feedback. Once.
我完成了工作。
I finally took a well-deserved vacation. My friend asked how things were going, and I replied.
我完成了工作。
The deadline passed, but fortunately.
我完成了工作。
Just in time. I couldn't relax until.
我完成了工作。
Completely and thoroughly. Everyone was waiting to hear that.
我完成了工作。
Yesterday. I phoned my parents to tell them.
我完成了工作。
Successfully. The client was satisfied when.
我完成了工作。
According to specifications. I posted on social media that.
我完成了工作。
And received congratulations. The phrase is he completely good. In Chinese.
他完全好了。
The phrase is mom, late peace. In Chinese.
妈妈，晚安。
Every night before bed, I whisper.
妈妈，晚安。
To my mother. She tucked me in and softly said.
妈妈，晚安。
From the doorway. I called out.
妈妈，晚安。
As she turned off the bedroom light. The little girl sweetly told her mom.
妈妈，晚安。
At bedtime. He sent a text message saying.
妈妈，晚安。
Before falling asleep. My grandmother always whispers.
妈妈，晚安。
To her own mother in memory. The children lined up to say.
妈妈，晚安。
before heading upstairs. She kissed his forehead and heard him mumble,
妈妈，晚安。
At 9 o'clock, the boy shouted,
妈妈，晚安。
down the stairs. I learned to say,
妈妈，晚安。
when I was just 3 years old. The phone rang. It was my sister saying,
妈妈，晚安。
to our mother. Every evening ritual ends with me saying,
妈妈，晚安。
sincerely. She heard her son's voice saying,
妈妈，晚安。
through the baby monitor. The teenager FaceTimed to say,
妈妈，晚安。
from college. Even as adults, we still say,
妈妈，晚安。
to her every night. The phrase is I in read evening paper. In Chinese,
我在看晚报。
the phrase is I like eat dinner. In Chinese,
我喜欢吃晚餐。
my friend asked what I do every evening, and I said,
我喜欢吃晚餐。
at the restaurant, I told the waiter,
我喜欢吃晚餐。
here every Friday. She knows that,
我喜欢吃晚餐。
around 6 o'clock each day. When my mom asked about my preferences, I answered,
我喜欢吃晚餐。
the chef smiled when I explained,
我喜欢吃晚餐。
at his restaurant. My coworker said,
我喜欢吃晚餐。
is why I always leave at 5. During the interview, I mentioned that,
我喜欢吃晚餐。
with family. The waiter noted that,
我喜欢吃晚餐。
here makes me a regular customer. I told my neighbor,
我喜欢吃晚餐。
most evenings without cooking. When planning the week, she remembered,
我喜欢吃晚餐。
is my favorite routine. The menu showed dishes I loved because,
我喜欢吃晚餐。
he understands,
我喜欢吃晚餐。
so he always invites me out then. The reservation was made since,
我喜欢吃晚餐。
at that time. My family knows,
我喜欢吃晚餐。
is when I'm most relaxed. I wrote in my diary that,
我喜欢吃晚餐。
brings me happiness daily. The phrase is today's party very good. In Chinese,
今天的晚会很好。
my grandmother told me,
今天的晚会很好。
when I picked her up. Everyone agreed that,
今天的晚会很好。
as we left the venue. She texted her friend saying,
今天的晚会很好。
with 3 exclamation marks. The host announced,
今天的晚会很好。
before thanking all the guests. I overheard them discussing how,
今天的晚会很好。
during dessert. He couldn't stop repeating,
今天的晚会很好。
to anyone who would listen. My mother said,
今天的晚会很好。
while helping me clean up afterward. The children kept singing that,
今天的晚会很好。
all the way home. Their review on social media simply stated,
今天的晚会很好。
with 5 stars. She called her sister to say,
今天的晚会很好。
and that she missed her. I wrote in my diary that,
今天的晚会很好。
and I made new friends. The guests' feedback indicated that,
今天的晚会很好。
beyond their expectations. He smiled widely when he said,
今天的晚会很好。
to the event organizer. My coworker mentioned.
今天的晚会很好。
When we met for coffee. The family WhatsApp group was flooded with messages saying.
今天的晚会很好。
The phrase is tabletop have one, measure word, bowl. In Chinese.
桌子上有一只碗。
My grandmother pointed and said.
桌子上有一只碗。
Filled with rice. The child noticed.
桌子上有一只碗。
And asked for soup. She cleaned the table because.
桌子上有一只碗。
Needed washing. He was surprised to find.
桌子上有一只碗。
Still there. The waiter confirmed.
桌子上有一只碗。
As we sat down. I saw.
桌子上有一只碗。
When I entered the kitchen. They were confused because.
桌子上有一只碗。
But no spoon. The photo showed.
桌子上有一只碗。
Next to some flowers. My sister mentioned.
桌子上有一只碗。
Needed to be moved. He reached for it saying.
桌子上有一只碗。
Looks delicious. The visitor observed.
桌子上有一只碗。
And smiled politely. I remembered.
桌子上有一只碗。
From yesterday's dinner. She pointed out that.
桌子上有一只碗。
Was slightly cracked. The teacher said.
桌子上有一只碗。
As an example sentence. They prepared lunch knowing.
桌子上有一只碗。
Would be needed. The phrase is this cell phone 10,000 pieces. In Chinese.
这个手机1万块。
My father said.
这个手机1万块。
So I cannot afford it right now. The salesman explained that.
这个手机1万块。
Which shocked all the customers. She complained to her husband that.
这个手机1万块。
Is way too expensive. When I heard.
这个手机1万块。
I decided to buy the cheaper model instead. He was surprised when the clerk told him.
这个手机1万块。
At the store. The advertisement claimed.
这个手机1万块。
But it seemed overpriced to me. My colleague mentioned that.
这个手机1万块。
So she bought a different brand. The shop owner insisted.
这个手机1万块。
Despite my attempts to negotiate. I was shocked when the price tag showed.
这个手机1万块。
Yesterday. My mother asked why.
这个手机1万块。
Costs so much money. The luxury store displayed items where.
这个手机1万块。
Was considered reasonable. He saved for months because.
这个手机1万块。
Was his dream purchase. When the customer learned.
这个手机1万块。
They walked out immediately. The invoice clearly stated.
这个手机1万块。
For the flagship model. She told her friend that.
这个手机1万块。
But it had amazing features. The phrase is I on net study. In Chinese.
我上网学习。
Every evening after work.
我上网学习。
To improve my skills. My parents were happy when I told them.
我上网学习。
Instead of playing games. During the pandemic.
我上网学习。
From home for 6 months. She asked me what I was doing, and I said.
我上网学习。
On weekends.
我上网学习。
New programming languages online. My teacher recommended that.
我上网学习。
Additional materials for the exam. I decided.
我上网学习。
Because the local classes were too expensive. My friend couldn't come out because.
我上网学习。
At that time. To improve my English.
我上网学习。
Through international video platforms. When I'm bored.
我上网学习。
Instead of scrolling on social media. My schedule is busy, but.
我上网学习。
Whenever I find spare time. She was impressed that.
我上网学习。
Without her reminding me. Last year.
我上网学习。
3 different courses simultaneously. I told my counselor.
我上网学习。
To prepare for my certification. Every morning before breakfast.
我上网学习。
For at least 1 hour. The phrase is I like hit tennis. In Chinese.
我喜欢打网球。
Every weekend, my friend tells me.
我喜欢打网球。
And invites me to the courts. She wrote in her diary that.
我喜欢打网球。
More than any other sport. When asked about his hobbies, he simply said.
我喜欢打网球。
The coach asked why I wanted to join, and I answered.
我喜欢打网球。
My parents know that.
我喜欢打网球。
So they bought me new equipment. At the gym, everyone heard him shout.
我喜欢打网球。
With excitement. She texted her team.
我喜欢打网球。
And suggested we practice tomorrow. The student's essay began with the sentence.
我喜欢打网球。
During the interview, he mentioned.
我喜欢打网球。
As his main passion. My grandmother laughed when I told her.
我喜欢打网球。
For the first time. The sign on his bedroom wall reads.
我喜欢打网球。
In bold letters. When I called him, he was excited saying.
我喜欢打网球。
Right now. The Chinese teacher asked us to translate.
我喜欢打网球。
Into English. His friend joked that.
我喜欢打网球。
Was all he ever talked about. The social media post simply stated.
我喜欢打网球。
With 3 heart emojis. The phrase is this website very good. In Chinese.
这个网站很好。
I told my friend about the project, and she agreed that.
这个网站很好。
My teacher recommended the resource, saying.
这个网站很好。
For research. After browsing for an hour, I concluded that.
这个网站很好。
The student asked where to find information, so I suggested.
这个网站很好。
My colleague shared the link and commented that.
这个网站很好。
We were looking for reliable sources when someone mentioned.
这个网站很好。
The manager praised our choice because.
这个网站很好。
For business purposes. I bookmarked it immediately after realizing that.
这个网站很好。
Everyone in the group agreed that.
这个网站很好。
For our project. The review clearly stated.
这个网站很好。
And highly recommended it. My parents were impressed when I showed them.
这个网站很好。
The librarian confirmed that.
这个网站很好。
For academic research. I switched platforms because I discovered
这个网站很好。
the forum discussion praised
这个网站很好。
and its useful features. Before making a decision, I checked online and found that
这个网站很好。
the phrase is please toward front walk. In Chinese,
请往前走。
the tour guide told us
请往前走。
toward the main entrance. The nurse gestured and said
请往前走。
down this hospital corridor. Mom instructed her child
请往前走。
don't stop here. The security guard pointed forward saying
请往前走。
to the checkpoint. At the museum, the docent urged us
请往前走。
into the next gallery. The airport staff politely said
请往前走。
to the boarding area. The teacher told her students
请往前走。
to the assembly hall. He waved and called out
请往前走。
across the bridge. The parking attendant instructed
请往前走。
to the available spaces. During the fire drill, the principal announced
请往前走。
in an orderly fashion. The hotel concierge said
请往前走。
toward the elevator on your left. The guide encouraged the hikers
请往前走。
up the mountain trail. At the queue, the staff member said
请往前走。
when space opened up. The conductor told passengers
请往前走。
into the train car carefully. The street vendor gestured
请往前走。
to see more merchandise. The phrase is I for you cook rice. In Chinese,
我为你做饭。
after work, I told my wife
我为你做饭。
she was tired, so
我为你做饭。
without hesitation. Every evening,
我为你做饭。
because you love my cooking. When you're sick,
我为你做饭。
with extra care and vegetables. He promised his mother
我为你做饭。
every Sunday. On your birthday,
我为你做饭。
your favorite traditional dishes. My grandmother always said
我为你做饭。
is an act of love. Since you started your new job,
我为你做饭。
before you get home. The husband whispered tenderly
我为你做饭。
tonight. Whenever you're homesick,
我为你做饭。
to remind you of home. In our relationship,
我为你做饭。
shows my commitment and care. She learned to cook just so,
我为你做饭。
properly. During the pandemic,
我为你做饭。
instead of eating out, he smiled and said
我为你做饭。
if you help set the table. When you visit, the first thing I do is
我为你做饭。
the phrase is you why not happy. In Chinese,
你为什么不高兴？
I asked her directly,
你为什么不高兴？
but she wouldn't answer me. When I saw his sad face, I said,
你为什么不高兴？
with concern. My mother kept asking,
你为什么不高兴？
throughout the entire dinner. He finally broke down and told me why
你为什么不高兴？
had been bothering him. The teacher noticed something wrong and asked,
你为什么不高兴？
during class. Nobody dared ask him.
你为什么不高兴？
After he got fired yesterday, she texted me asking
你为什么不高兴？
Because I seemed distant all week. When he came home late, his wife demanded.
你为什么不高兴？
Immediately. I kept wondering.
你为什么不高兴？
But decided not to pry further. The counselor gently asked.
你为什么不高兴？
During their first session. At the party, everyone whispered about why.
你为什么不高兴？
Seemed so withdrawn. My friend finally explained.
你为什么不高兴？
After weeks of avoiding the topic. The boss noticed something off and carefully asked.
你为什么不高兴？
In private. She repeated.
你为什么不高兴？
3 times before I actually responded honestly. When I heard him sigh, I gently asked.
你为什么不高兴？
With a hug. The phrase is that measure word, teacher very good. In Chinese.
那位老师很好。
My daughter told me.
那位老师很好。
And loves attending class every day. Students keep saying.
那位老师很好。
Because he explains everything clearly. When I asked about her teacher, she replied.
那位老师很好。
With a big smile. All the parents agree that.
那位老师很好。
And very patient with children. He mentioned.
那位老师很好。
During the parent-teacher conference last week. The school newsletter praised.
那位老师很好。
For his innovative teaching methods. My son's classmates often say.
那位老师很好。
And never want to miss his lessons. Teachers in the hallway commented that.
那位老师很好。
Deserves recognition this year. When asked why he enjoys school, he answered.
那位老师很好。
Immediately. The principal confirmed.
那位老师很好。
And recommended him for the award. Everyone in the community knows.
那位老师很好。
Treats every student with respect. She wrote in her journal that.
那位老师很好。
Makes learning fun and engaging. Parents complained about other classes, but agreed.
那位老师很好。
In comparison. The student evaluation forms consistently showed.
那位老师很好。
Across all categories. During orientation, new families learned that.
那位老师很好。
And highly experienced. The phrase is this dish tastes very good. In Chinese.
这个菜的味道很好。
My grandmother smiled when I told her.
这个菜的味道很好。
The chef was proud to hear.
这个菜的味道很好。
From every customer. I texted my friend.
这个菜的味道很好。
While eating at the restaurant. She closed her eyes and said.
这个菜的味道很好。
After the first bite. The restaurant's review simply stated.
这个菜的味道很好。
In every comment. My mother agreed completely that.
这个菜的味道很好。
At dinner last night. He couldn't stop repeating.
这个菜的味道很好。
Throughout the entire meal. The food critic wrote.
这个菜的味道很好。
In her detailed restaurant review. Everyone at the table nodded when I said.
这个菜的味道很好。
The waiter beamed after hearing.
这个菜的味道很好。
From the satisfied guests. I kept thinking.
这个菜的味道很好。
Long after we finished eating. My sister exclaimed.
这个菜的味道很好。
before asking for seconds. The compliment
这个菜的味道很好
made the young cook's day. Our friends all agreed that,
这个菜的味道很好
at the family gathering, I finally understood what they meant when they said,
这个菜的味道很好
the phrase is hey, you good, in Chinese.
喂，你好
I called my friend and said,
喂，你好
from across the street. She answered the phone with a cheerful,
喂，你好
that made me smile. The bartender greeted the customer with a friendly,
喂，你好
as he entered. He texted his brother,
喂，你好
to check in after their argument. My colleague waved and shouted,
喂，你好
when I arrived at the office. The coach greeted the new team member with,
喂，你好
on the first day. She called out,
喂，你好
to her neighbor watering plants outside. I heard Tom say,
喂，你好
through the wall to his roommate. The receptionist answered every visitor with a warm,
喂，你好
greeting. He spotted his old friend and enthusiastically called out,
喂，你好
across the plaza. My mom called upstairs and said,
喂，你好
to wake me up gently. The server approached our table with,
喂，你好
and took our order immediately. I sent a quick,
喂，你好
message to my study group before class. The nurse greeted each patient with a kind,
喂，你好
in the waiting room. He knocked on the door and heard someone inside respond with,
喂，你好
cheerfully. The phrase is today's temperature very high. In Chinese,
今天的温度很高
the weather forecast warned us that,
今天的温度很高
we stayed indoors all day because,
今天的温度很高
my grandmother mentioned that,
今天的温度很高
so she wouldn't cook. The news reported,
今天的温度很高
across the entire region. Everyone at work complained that,
今天的温度很高
she packed extra water bottles since,
今天的温度很高
the kids couldn't play outside because,
今天的温度很高
he decided to skip his run after learning.
今天的温度很高
We adjusted the air conditioning when we realized,
今天的温度很高
the elderly neighbors stayed hydrated because,
今天的温度很高
swimming seemed like the best option since.
今天的温度很高
The announcement confirmed that,
今天的温度很高
would continue tomorrow. Tourists complained online that,
今天的温度很高
ruined their vacation plans. We rescheduled the wedding ceremony after hearing,
今天的温度很高
the meteorologist explained why,
今天的温度很高
affected local wildlife. The phrase is I smell Finnish flower fragrance. In Chinese,
我闻到了花香
walking through the garden, I realized.
我闻到了花香
She opened the window and said,
我闻到了花香
as soon as I entered the room.
我闻到了花香
The moment the bouquet arrived.
我闻到了花香
During our spring hike, suddenly,
我闻到了花香
He mentioned that this morning,
我闻到了花香，
while sitting on the porch.
我闻到了花香，
The letter contained a note saying,
我闻到了花香，
after the rain stopped,
我闻到了花香，
she complained that today,
我闻到了花香，
everywhere, closing my eyes at the park.
我闻到了花香，
The florist confirmed that,
我闻到了花香，
from her arrangements. He described how at dawn,
我闻到了花香，
walking past the meadow, I whispered.
我闻到了花香，
She wrote in her diary that,
我闻到了花香。
this afternoon. The phrases I want ask road. In Chinese,
我想问路，
the lost tourist said,
我想问路，
to the friendly police officer. My grandfather whispered,
我想问路，
because he couldn't find the train station. She nervously told the stranger,
我想问路，
in broken English. When we got lost in Beijing, Dad said,
我想问路，
to a local vendor. The exchange student approached me saying,
我想问路，
with a confused expression. I heard him ask,
我想问路，
at the airport information desk yesterday. My mother kept repeating,
我想问路，
until someone finally helped her. The elderly woman politely expressed,
我想问路，
to the young man on the corner. He mumbled,
我想问路，
while checking his phone for directions. The tourist guide heard many visitors say,
我想问路，
every single day. When nobody understood English, she finally said,
我想问路，
in Mandarin. My brother admitted,
我想问路，
because the GPS wasn't working properly. The delivery driver quietly asked,
我想问路，
near the old neighborhood. She nervously gathered courage and said,
我想问路，
to the passerby. I watched him write,
我想问路，
on a piece of paper for help. The phrase is I have one, measure word, question, in Chinese.
我有一个问题，
During the meeting, I raised my hand and said,
我有一个问题，
the student approached the teacher nervously, saying,
我有一个问题，
before we proceed,
我有一个问题，
about the deadline. She interrupted the presentation to announce,
我有一个问题，
in the middle of the lecture, someone shouted.
我有一个问题，
The customer told the manager,
我有一个问题，
about the service. After reading the contract, he admitted.
我有一个问题，
At the conference, the participant raised her hand with,
我有一个问题，
the intern nervously whispered,
我有一个问题，
to her supervisor. Before signing, the client expressed,
我有一个问题，
about the terms. During the interview, the candidate politely stated,
我有一个问题，
the passenger asked the flight attendant.
我有一个问题，
While reviewing the report, my colleague mentioned,
我有一个问题，
the patient told the doctor,
我有一个问题，
about the medication. As we finished the training, someone asked,
我有一个问题，
the phrase is I want eat lunch. In Chinese,
我想吃午餐，
my stomach is growling because,
我想吃午餐，
She asked me what I wanted, and I said,
我想吃午餐。
right now.
我想吃午餐。
So let's find a restaurant. The sign said lunch starts at noon, and
我想吃午餐。
I told my coworker,
我想吃午餐。
instead of staying at my desk. Since
我想吃午餐。
we decided to try the new cafe. He doesn't care about breakfast.
我想吃午餐。
Is all he thinks about. The meeting will have to wait because
我想吃午餐。
when he realized it was noon,
我想吃午餐。
became his priority. I explained to my friend that
我想吃午餐。
right now, because
我想吃午餐。
I'm leaving work early today. She texted back saying,
我想吃午餐。
at the same time. My daughter complained.
我想吃午餐。
Before the morning was even over. Nobody wanted to listen to my presentation since
我想吃午餐。
I woke up this morning already thinking.
我想吃午餐。
The phrase is I like noon sleep. In Chinese,
我喜欢午睡。
my coworker told me
我喜欢午睡。
during our lunch break today. She explained that
我喜欢午睡。
helps her feel refreshed in the afternoon. He admitted
我喜欢午睡。
whenever he has time between meetings. The student said
我喜欢午睡。
instead of studying in the library. When asked about his routine, he replied,
我喜欢午睡。
most days. My friend confessed,
我喜欢午睡。
more than going to the gym. At the office party, she mentioned,
我喜欢午睡。
on weekends especially. The boss understands that
我喜欢午睡。
boosts productivity for many employees. I overheard him saying,
我喜欢午睡。
whenever possible after lunch. Her productivity increased once she realized
我喜欢午睡。
daily. The doctor recommended
我喜欢午睡。
for better mental health. He wrote in his diary that
我喜欢午睡。
is his favorite part of the day. When traveling, she always ensures
我喜欢午睡。
in her schedule. The interview revealed that
我喜欢午睡。
helps him manage stress. At the wellness seminar, the speaker advocated that
我喜欢午睡。
benefits everyone. The phrase is I want go northwest. In Chinese,
我想去西北。
my friend said,
我想去西北。
and started planning the road trip immediately. She whispered,
我想去西北。
while looking at the map on her phone. He told his family
我想去西北。
during dinner last night. The travel agent asked why the client wanted
我想去西北。
for vacation. I heard him say
我想去西北。
when discussing next summer's adventure. She repeated
我想去西北。
3 times to make sure I understood clearly. They decided
我想去西北。
after reading about the beautiful landscapes online. My brother excitedly announced
我想去西北。
to everyone at the meeting. The tourist kept saying
我想去西北。
while studying the regional guidebook. She wrote in her journal
我想去西北。
as her main goal this year. He finally admitted
我想去西北。
After months of hesitation and doubt, the group unanimously agreed that
我想去西北
should be their next destination. I overheard them discussing
我想去西北
at the travel agency counter. She confidently stated
我想去西北
during the vacation planning meeting yesterday. My partner suggested
我想去西北
and I immediately agreed with the idea. The phrase is I like eat Western food. In Chinese,
我喜欢吃西餐
my friend told me that,
我喜欢吃西餐
so we booked a French restaurant. She wrote in her diary,
我喜欢吃西餐
and dreamed of visiting Italy. At the dinner party, he announced,
我喜欢吃西餐
much more than Asian cuisine. The exchange student explained,
我喜欢吃西餐
during her introduction speech. When asked about food preferences, she simply said,
我喜欢吃西餐
his mother knew that,
我喜欢吃西餐
so she prepared steaks for dinner. The postcard read, having fun here.
我喜欢吃西餐
Best trip ever. Quote. During the interview, he mentioned,
我喜欢吃西餐
as his favorite cuisine. She confessed to her roommate,
我喜欢吃西餐
especially Italian pasta dishes. The text message said simply,
我喜欢吃西餐
meet me at the steakhouse. In her food blog, she wrote,
我喜欢吃西餐
and recommended 3 restaurants. His grandmother was surprised when he said,
我喜欢吃西餐
for his birthday dinner. The survey results showed that
我喜欢吃西餐
was a common preference. When traveling abroad, he realized
我喜欢吃西餐
more than he'd expected. At the potluck, someone joked,
我喜欢吃西餐
so why did you bring sushi? The phrase is he at west. In Chinese,
他在西方
according to the map,
他在西方
so we should head that direction. The detective confirmed that,
他在西方
when they found his passport. She pointed and said,
他在西方
near those mountains. The GPS indicated,
他在西方
from our current position. We were told,
他在西方
during the morning briefing. Last week,
他在西方
studying abroad for his degree. The compass showed,
他在西方
where the sunset was brightest. His family believes,
他在西方
working on that business project. The report stated,
他在西方
conducting research at that university. When I called, she mentioned,
他在西方
attending conferences there. The travel agent confirmed,
他在西方
for the next 3 months. According to his last email,
他在西方
enjoying his new job. Everyone assumed,
他在西方
based on his recent letters home. The news report indicated,
他在西方
covering the international summit. She nodded and whispered,
他在西方
where nobody would find him. The phrase is school at Southwest. In Chinese,
学校在西南
my teacher explained that,
学校在西南
so we take the western path. The map clearly shows,
学校在西南
near the river bend. I told my friend.
学校在西南。
When she asked for directions. The GPS confirmed.
学校在西南。
About 2 kilometers away. Our principal announced.
学校在西南。
During the morning assembly. Since.
学校在西南。
We always walk past the old market. The city planner noted that.
学校在西南。
In her report yesterday. My mother said.
学校在西南。
So we drove south and west. Everyone knows.
学校在西南。
Because of the landmark building nearby. The bus route changes because.
学校在西南。
From the main station. I discovered that.
学校在西南。
While looking at the town map. The sign indicated.
学校在西南。
With an arrow pointing downward left. My neighbor mentioned.
学校在西南。
When giving me directions yesterday. Since.
学校在西南。
The commute takes longer during rush hour. The new students learned that.
学校在西南。
During orientation week. The phrase is Western medicine very good. In Chinese.
西医很好。
My grandmother recovered quickly because.
西医很好。
The doctor explained that.
西医很好。
For treating infections. She decided to trust modern treatment after learning.
西医很好。
When I got sick, my parents said.
西医很好。
And took me to the hospital. He strongly believes.
西医很好。
And refuses traditional remedies. The hospital staff demonstrated why.
西医很好。
Through their successful results. My grandfather finally admitted that.
西医很好。
When he recovered. In this country, people recognize that.
西医很好。
For emergency care. The patient's family was relieved to hear.
西医很好。
From the surgeon. Teachers explain to students why.
西医很好。
During health classes. After his successful surgery, he proclaimed.
西医很好。
To everyone. We discussed how.
西医很好。
When comparing different medical approaches. The nurse assured the worried mother that.
西医很好。
For her child's condition. Statistics clearly show.
西医很好。
In treating chronic diseases effectively. My cousin moved back because she believes.
西医很好。
Is available there. The phrase's early get up is one good habit. In Chinese.
早起是一个好习惯。
My grandmother always says.
早起是一个好习惯。
And wakes at 5 every morning. The doctor recommended.
早起是一个好习惯。
For better health and energy. She believes.
早起是一个好习惯。
Has changed her entire life positively. His coach insisted that.
早起是一个好习惯。
Improves athletic performance. The self-help book emphasized how.
早起是一个好习惯。
Leads to success. Teachers often tell students that.
早起是一个好习惯。
Helps grades improve. He started following the motto.
早起是一个好习惯。
Last January. My mother constantly reminds me that.
早起是一个好习惯。
During breakfast. Research shows.
早起是一个好习惯。
Reduces stress and anxiety. The fitness instructor explained why.
早起是一个好习惯。
Matters for training. Everyone in their family practices.
早起是一个好习惯。
Without exception. She posted on social media that.
早起是一个好习惯。
Changed everything. The CEO attributed his success to believing.
早起是一个好习惯。
Parents encourage their children by saying.
早起是一个好习惯。
Repeatedly. I finally understood why.
早起是一个好习惯。
When I tried it myself. The phrase is house inside have one unit washing machine. In Chinese.
家里有一台洗衣机。
My mother mentioned that.
家里有一台洗衣机。
So we don't need to go to the laundromat. She was grateful because.
家里有一台洗衣机。
Made her life much easier. The repairman said.
家里有一台洗衣机。
That needs servicing this week. When I visited, Grandma told me.
家里有一台洗衣机。
In the basement. They were excited to learn.
家里有一台洗衣机。
After moving into the new apartment. The landlord confirmed.
家里有一台洗衣机。
Included with the rental agreement. My brother asked if.
家里有一台洗衣机。
Because he wanted to wash his clothes. The real estate listing stated.
家里有一台洗衣机。
On the second floor. She was relieved that.
家里有一台洗衣机。
So she could wash delicate fabrics. The moving company asked whether.
家里有一台洗衣机。
Before delivering the appliances. My roommate complained that.
家里有一台洗衣机。
But it was broken. They installed new plumbing because.
家里有一台洗衣机。
Needed better water pressure. The electrician checked if.
家里有一台洗衣机。
Was properly grounded for safety. She felt lucky that.
家里有一台洗衣机。
Instead of hand washing everything. The water bill increased slightly after.
家里有一台洗衣机。
Was installed last month. The phrase is I go wash bath. In Chinese.
我去洗澡。
After the gym, I told my friend.
我去洗澡。
And headed home. My mother asked where I was going, and I said.
我去洗澡。
Before bed, I always say.
我去洗澡。
To refresh myself. He was covered in mud, so naturally he said.
我去洗澡。
The children were dirty after playing outside, so each one announced.
我去洗澡。
She grabbed her towel and declared.
我去洗澡。
Before dinner. I texted my roommate that.
我去洗澡。
And would be back soon. When the weather got hot, he decided.
我去洗澡。
To cool down. My sister yawned and said.
我去洗澡。
Before getting ready for bed. The athlete finished practice and immediately stated.
我去洗澡。
After working in the garden all day, I announced.
我去洗澡。
He was sweaty from the hike, so he said.
我去洗澡。
Right away. The toddler's mother said it was time, so.
我去洗澡。
Happened next. I felt sticky and uncomfortable, so I decided.
我去洗澡。
Immediately. When guests left the house, I finally told my family.
我去洗澡。
The phrase is please wait one bit. In Chinese,
请等一下，
I told the customer,
请等一下，
while I checked the inventory system. She held up her hand and said,
请等一下，
before finishing her thought. The receptionist asked us to,
请等一下，
while she transferred the call. He messaged back,
请等一下，
because he needed to find the file. My teacher said,
请等一下，
and then clarified the confusing instruction. The waiter told us,
请等一下，
while he brought the appetizers. She texted,
请等一下，
because she was almost at the meeting location. I interrupted and asked him to,
请等一下，
so I could explain my idea. The technician said,
请等一下，
while he rebooted the computer. He held the elevator and said,
请等一下，
for his running colleague. The doctor told the patient,
请等一下，
before examining the test results. She paused and asked everyone to,
请等一下，
during the presentation. The cashier said,
请等一下，
while scanning the remaining items. He signaled to us,
请等一下，
as he answered an important phone call. The manager told the team,
请等一下，
before announcing the new project details. The phrase is today falls snow already. In Chinese,
今天下雪了，
my kids were excited when I told them.
今天下雪了，
We cancelled our plans after hearing that.
今天下雪了，
The children played outside all afternoon because.
今天下雪了，
The phrase is I next week go Beijing. In Chinese,
我下周去北京，
my boss asked when I'm traveling, and I told him,
我下周去北京，
I've been saving money because.
我下周去北京，
For business meetings. When she asked about my vacation plans, I said,
我下周去北京，
my flight is booked since.
我下周去北京，
For the conference. I need to pack my suitcase because.
我下周去北京，
My friends were surprised when I announced.
我下周去北京，
I told my family.
我下周去北京，
And they're excited for me. The hotel reservation is confirmed because.
我下周去北京，
I've been studying Mandarin harder now that.
我下周去北京，
My colleague knows.
我下周去北京，
For the trade show. I'm getting my visa ready since.
我下周去北京，
Everyone at work is covering my projects while.
我下周去北京，
I mentioned to my parents that.
我下周去北京，
For 2 weeks. The travel agency booked everything once I confirmed.
我下周去北京，
My calendar shows clearly that.
我下周去北京，
For important meetings. The phrase is summer very hot. In Chinese,
夏天很热，
my grandmother always complains that.
夏天很热，
So she stays indoors. The teacher explained to the class that.
夏天很热，
In this region. He sighed and said.
夏天很热，
As he wiped his forehead with a towel. Everyone agrees that.
夏天很热，
In July and August here. She reminded her children that.
夏天很热，
So they should drink water. The weather forecast confirmed that.
夏天很热，
This week across the country. Because
夏天很热。
we decided to go swimming at the beach. My friend texted me saying,
夏天很热。
and asked if I wanted ice cream. The sign outside the gym read,
夏天很热。
so bring plenty of water. They joked that
夏天很热。
was an understatement during the heat wave. The local newspaper reported that
夏天很热。
breaking several temperature records. Mom said,
夏天很热。
while setting up the air conditioning unit. We all nodded when the tour guide mentioned that.
夏天很热。
Here. The elderly man muttered,
夏天很热。
as he sought shade under a tree. She wrote in her diary that
夏天很热。
and nearly ruined her vacation plans. The phrase is our names same. In Chinese,
我们的名字相同。
the teacher realized
我们的名字相同。
when checking the roster. At the conference, we discovered
我们的名字相同。
quite by accident. She laughed and said,
我们的名字相同。
so we must be destined friends. The HR department confirmed
我们的名字相同。
after reviewing employee records. In the waiting room, the receptionist mentioned
我们的名字相同。
to both of us. During introductions, they noticed
我们的名字相同。
and became instant friends. The mailman was confused because
我们的名字相同。
at the same address. At the reunion, everyone joked that
我们的名字相同。
so we were twins. The doctor's office called asking which patient they meant since
我们的名字相同。
we bonded over the fact that
我们的名字相同。
and shared the same birthday. The registration form had a note saying
我们的名字相同。
to avoid confusion. My colleague whispered that
我们的名字相同。
during the staff meeting. The credit card company called about fraud until they confirmed
我们的名字相同。
at the party, someone joked
我们的名字相同。
so we should switch places. The librarian double-checked because
我们的名字相同。
and she wanted accurate records. The phrase is I believe you. In Chinese,
我相信你。
when you promised to finish the project, I said.
我相信你。
Despite the rumors, she told him directly.
我相信你。
My mother hugged me and whispered,
我相信你。
before the exam. He looked into her eyes and said,
我相信你。
without hesitation. After you explained everything, I finally felt.
我相信你。
The coach nodded at the nervous athlete.
我相信你。
I'm sorry for doubting you earlier. I want you to know.
我相信你。
Your father said.
我相信你。
When you told him about your dreams. Even when nobody else did, she always said.
我相信你。
The teacher smiled at the struggling student and said,
我相信你。
You've never lied to me before, so?
我相信你。
Standing at the crossroads, he needed to hear.
我相信你。
From someone. My best friend texted me.
我相信你。
Right before the competition. After all these years together.
我相信你。
Comes naturally to me. The mentor looked at the apprentice firmly.
我相信你。
The phrase is my phone ringed. In Chinese.
我的手机响了。
The phrases I think arrive one good idea. In Chinese.
我想到一个好主意。
While brainstorming, she suddenly exclaimed.
我想到一个好主意。
And rushed to write it down. He sat quietly for a moment, then said.
我想到一个好主意。
That could solve our problem. During the meeting, Tom interrupted to say.
我想到一个好主意。
About the marketing campaign. After weeks of struggling, I finally announced.
我想到一个好主意。
To my team. The engineer smiled and declared.
我想到一个好主意。
That would reduce costs significantly. My friend texted me saying.
我想到一个好主意。
For our weekend trip. When she heard the challenge, she immediately thought.
我想到一个好主意。
For solving it. The student raised her hand and shared.
我想到一个好主意。
With the entire class. As we discussed options, the manager suddenly realized.
我想到一个好主意。
For the project. He woke up at midnight thinking.
我想到一个好主意。
And couldn't fall back asleep. My colleague came back from lunch saying.
我想到一个好主意。
About the renovation. The director paused the conversation and announced.
我想到一个好主意。
That impressed everyone. While driving home, I experienced that moment where.
我想到一个好主意。
Came to me. She looked frustrated until she remembered.
我想到一个好主意。
About combining both approaches. The startup founder credited her success to when.
我想到一个好主意。
At a coffee shop. The phrase is your idea very good. In Chinese.
你的想法很好。
The team leader nodded and said.
你的想法很好。
During the meeting. I really appreciate that.
你的想法很好。
For solving this problem. She beamed when her manager told her.
你的想法很好。
Everyone agreed that.
你的想法很好。
And decided to implement it immediately. My professor wrote on my essay that.
你的想法很好。
But needs more evidence. When I presented the proposal, they said.
你的想法很好。
Enthusiastically. The startup founder believed.
你的想法很好。
Would revolutionize their business. I told my colleague.
你的想法很好。
And suggested we work together. During the brainstorm, someone exclaimed.
你的想法很好。
About the new design. The investor said.
你的想法很好。
And asked for more details about funding. My partner thought.
你的想法很好。
When I suggested reorganizing the office. The client was impressed and replied.
你的想法很好。
To our marketing strategy. After hearing the suggestion, I agreed that.
你的想法很好。
Completely. The committee chairman announced that.
你的想法很好。
And approved the project immediately. My friend texted me saying.
你的想法很好。
About starting a business together. The phrase is I think up finish he of name. In Chinese.
我想起了他的名字。
After years of searching, I finally.
我想起了他的名字。
During the meeting, I suddenly.
我想起了他的名字。
And felt relieved. She asked who that person was, and then I.
我想起了他的名字。
While looking through old photos, I.
我想起了他的名字。
From childhood. The moment he walked in, I.
我想起了他的名字。
Instantly. I couldn't remember until last night when I.
我想起了他的名字。
My mother called asking if I.
我想起了他的名字。
From the reunion. After hearing that voice again, I.
我想起了他的名字。
Clearly. For weeks I struggled, but today I finally.
我想起了他的名字。
When I saw his photo online, I immediately.
我想起了他的名字。
He seemed familiar, and then I.
我想起了他的名字。
With excitement. I was going crazy trying to remember until I.
我想起了他的名字。
At the grocery store, I ran into someone and I.
我想起了他的名字。
The song triggered my memory and I.
我想起了他的名字。
From school. Suddenly, without warning, I.
我想起了他的名字。
After all these years. The phrase is, he towards me walk come. In Chinese.
他向我走来。
I froze when.
他向我走来。
With a serious expression on his face. The old man smiled as.
他向我走来。
Across the crowded market. My heart raced because.
他向我走来。
Faster than I expected. She pointed and said.
他向我走来。
Through the heavy rain. We watched nervously as.
他向我走来。
With his hands in his pockets. I stepped back when.
他向我走来。
In that menacing way. The crowd parted as.
他向我走来。
Confidently down the hallway. I recognized him immediately when.
他向我走来。
At the airport. She whispered urgently, Hein.
他向我走来。
And grabbed my arm. The stranger greeted me cheerfully as.
他向我走来。
In the garden. I was terrified when.
他向我走来。
With that angry look. My friend waved excitedly because.
他向我走来。
To join our conversation. The teacher announced that.
他向我走来。
To collect the exam papers. I felt relieved when.
他向我走来。
To finally apologize for everything. Everyone turned around as.
他向我走来。
Onto the stage slowly. The phrase is my camera very new. In Chinese.
我的相机很新。
I told my friend.
我的相机很新。
So she asked to borrow it. My photographer mentor said.
我的相机很新。
And offered helpful tips. She complimented me, noting that.
我的相机很新。
Produces excellent photos. At the exhibition, I explained.
我的相机很新。
To several interested visitors. He was jealous when I mentioned.
我的相机很新。
Last week. The salesman assured me.
我的相机很新。
Would last many years. I proudly declared.
我的相机很新。
During the photography class. My parents were happy to hear.
我的相机很新。
For my birthday. She asked why.
我的相机很新。
But takes blurry photos sometimes. I texted him a photo, adding that.
我的相机很新。
Anyway. The travel blogger mentioned.
我的相机很新。
In her latest vlog, my brother teased me about
我的相机很新。
costing so much money. I realized
我的相机很新。
needs a protective case immediately. The technician confirmed
我的相机很新。
had no manufacturing defects. I bragged to classmates that
我的相机很新。
has amazing zoom capabilities.